Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome and thank you for joining us. My name is Carl Anthony, and this is AutoVision News live at AutoSens and in cabin from the Auto World Museum in Brussels, Belgium. Broadcasting by the Bugatti Type 49 and Cadillac 341, we are immersed in the history of the automobile while simultaneously embracing its future. All broadcasts that you see during these next 3 days will be live and then archived on our AutoVision News LinkedIn page. Our first guest here this morning as part of AutoSens is Valentina Donzella. Now, Valentina is a full professor and head of the sensors area in the Intelligent Vehicle Group at WMG, University of Warwick, UK. She has been awarded a Royal Academy of Engineering Industrial Fellowship on camera sensors and is currently leading the work package on perception sensor noise models as part of the 4-year EU RoadView project. Her research areas are LiDAR, intelligent vehicles, integrated optical sensors, sensor fusion, and of course, silicon photonics. Joining us today as part of AutoVision News live at AutoSens and in cabin is Valentina Donzella. Valentina, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Indeed. So let's start at the beginning. You're a professor now, but let's start at your early years when you were a student. Tell us about when you were studying for your engineering degree and take us through that part of your life.
Okay, sounds good. It is a little bit of a few years ago, but I'll try to remember. I think at the beginning, particularly being woman in a male-dominated field, it was a little bit daunting. I was always scared not to make it, to demonstrate that I was to the level of the others. Actually, I felt I needed to demonstrate more to be sure, to be considerate. But then overall, I think I enjoyed the challenges, I enjoyed the interactions, and then I find my way through. It is still sometimes a challenging field, but I really enjoy it. And I think what attracted me the most to engineering, it is the curiosity in a way on how things work, but also trying to make something better for the future, like we are trying with autonomous and automated vehicles.
Indeed, indeed. So after you completed your studies then, Valentina, what was your first career? What was your first job out of college then?
I think I'm quite a naive person. I was enjoying what I was doing in academia, so I thought maybe PhD would have been a right path for me. So I stayed in academia, and I have stayed in academia for almost all my career, except when I was in Vancouver at the University of British Columbia. I was working, I was an intern in a company working in a field aligned, so I have a little bit of a perspective also what is industry, but overall I enjoyed the freedom and the exploration of academia. One thing that I think it evolved through the year, it is the relationship with industry that are particularly important in this field, because we can do blue sky research, but if we want to make the vehicles of the future, we need to have a strong relationship with industry, which is nice.
Indeed. So today you are a professor at the University of Warwick and head of the sensors area in the Intelligent Vehicles Group. Valentina, tell us more about the work that you're doing and tell us about that.
Okay. I think my blue sky research was more around sensors, so it was natural to slowly evolve, obviously, into sensors related to automated vehicles. And there are so many challenges around them that for me it was really attractive to build that area in our group. When I joined WMG, they had already a strong automotive component, so building on my background and department expertise, it was natural to evolve the sensors activities. At the moment, we are looking into several challenges around sensors. I think perception is key for the future of assisted and automated driving. We are looking into noise factors, how the sensor data will degrade, how do we deal with sensor data. We do have several projects and also several collaboration with key partners. So I think this field really can make the future of intelligent vehicles.
I think so too. Further to that, you have a Royal Academy of Engineering Industrial Fellowship. What is the significance of that, Valentina, and how does that impact the work that you're doing today?
I think that was a great opportunity because, as I mentioned, we can do research, but if we don't link it properly to industry, it stays as research. We need to build that relationship, and that fellowship allowed me to work very closely with a sensor company and semiconductor. So we built that relationship. We have produced some joint research, we have produced some joint paper, and in a way, it helps me to shape my research to make sure that it's relevant, and also it's a good opportunity for the company to explore new areas, to understand the future, to set the strategy. So I think for me it's been a super exciting opportunity, and I think it's very important that in this field we build this relationship with an academia and industry.
Indeed. Let's talk about the EU Roadview project. Tell us about the work that you're doing there.
Yeah. So the EU Roadview project just started. We had the kickoff meeting just before AutoSens.
Really?
So,
Okay.
Yes, I was in Sweden last week. I think it's a quite ambitious project because we will look into sensor degradation and how this affects the pipeline from sensing to perception to control in harsh weather conditions. In fact, a lot of our partners are situated in Northern Europe. We want to understand the situation where we have snow, icy conditions, and so on. Obviously, or probably doing automated driving, it's easy in a sunny day in California, but if we are thinking about UK, where you always have rain, or Northern Europe, the challenges are different. And as a part of that, we are leading the work package on noise factor for sensor modeling. So we will look into how to model these noise factors properly, data-driven or physics-based, and then how to integrate them into the simulation pipeline to make sure that we can do that left shifting in order to test whatever we can as soon as possible.
Back home where we're from in Detroit in Michigan, lots of snow, lots of rain. So that research is very important.
Nice.
Because people drive in that type of weather. People drive at night, people drive when it's raining, people drive when it's snowing if they have to get to work. So I think it's very important, the research that you're doing.
Okay, thank you.
So you're an expert on, and I'm going to read the list here because it's impressive. LiDAR, intelligent vehicles, integrated optical sensors, sensor fusion, and silicon photonics. Based on your vantage point with all of that, what are the most important trends and developments that we're seeing in these areas right now?
There are different aspects. So one of them is the evolution of the sensors. So from example, from a radar perspective, LiDAR perspective, we have seen them evolving, improving. The radar is moving towards 4D radar, imaging radar that can give probably better information with respect to what we had before. LiDAR is moving probably to cheaper devices that are affordable to support a higher level of autonomy. So I really enjoyed that part on a device level. But then there is all the part of data processing, data understanding, how do we deal with this data, and how do we deal with data degradation. So there are two aspects on one side, the hardware and the software, and we need to bring them together in order to ensure the safety of the future assistant and assistant and automated driving functions.
Of course. Valentina, last question here, and of course want to thank you for your time. Do you see yourself working in academia for the remainder of your career? You said that you love it. Do you see yourself staying in that field?
Probably, yes. I enjoy the challenges in academia, but I enjoy them because I have the opportunity of working with big and very relevant industrial partners. So I hope overall that I can keep building relationship with a lot of industrial partners to make my research really useful for the future.
Of course. Valentina, we want to thank you for your time. From all of us here at AutoVision News, we want to wish you the best of luck going forward, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much for your time.